So we'll continue with the second half of your Markov chain, where we are initially moved with the classification of your Markov process with the nature of your TPM. And the last problems, what we did is they will be giving you the scenario so that we'll be coining your TPM, transition probability matrix. And based on that, we'll be finding what is your long run for the required scenario, like rainy day, dry day, and whether the person will take by drive or catch the train. So and so problem has been discussed in the part 1. Okay, so right now we'll be going with a scenario where we have to find the particular probability of so and so events, and based on that we'll be discussing about the nature also. Okay, so the TPM of the Markov chain is given in this question, where the states are 1, 2, 3, and in that scenario you will be given with an initial distribution. So initial condition, we will have an initial condition once you are supposed to find the outcome, they will be provided with the initial start condition. So here the state 1, 2, 3 are executing with the probability 0.7, 0.2, 0.1, and we are supposed to find these three scenarios. Okay, so usually when you are given when you are asked to find the probability of P of x2 over 3 and x2, x1, x0, the Markov chain process is nothing but the probability of the future is decided based on the current situation, not on the past. So with that ultimate aim, we'll be writing this one as x2 is equal to 3, given the current situation is x1. The space we are going to find for 2 with the current space of 1, where the probability of x1 is equal to 3 and x0 is equal to 2. So here this will be nothing but the probability, the value of the current state is 3, state 3, and future state is 3, and the space what you have to go at the difference between x2 and x1. So difference is 1. So similarly, I have to execute the same logic of your Markov process. So probability of x1 is equal to 3 provided the current status is x0, with probability of x0 is equal to 2. So it is nothing but P of 3 over 1, and here, so this is your current state. So state is 2, and what you have to find, the future state is 3. So it is P2, 3, and difference of your space is 1. And this is nothing but the initial term of year 2. Okay, so P of 3 over 3 of 1 is nothing but, which is given in the question. Look at here. This is actually your first space, P of 1. And the state has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we are supposed to find P of 3 over 3, P of 2, 3 of 1, and P of x0 is equal to 2. So this is the matrix TPM of 1, 3 over 3 is 0.4. And 2 over 3, it is 2 over 3 is 0.3. And x0 is equal to 2 is nothing but the probability at the initial stage for the state, it's 0.2. So the product of this will be the outcome of your first run. So look at this. It was given very clear here. So as what I explained here, it is given here. So probability of this case, where this will be written like this, and then the space. So finally over this, so it's 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, and this one. So probability of finding this states of 3, 3, 2 is nothing but 0.024. Suppose the next question is, you are supposed to find the probability of x2 is equal to 3. That means you have to find in the second space. First space is nothing but P of 1, what is given as your TPM. Second space is P of 2, that is you will multiply the matrix. Okay, that was given by Chapman-Kolmogger theorem. That is P of n is nothing but P of n. So finding your n space of your TPM is nothing but multiplying the matrix n times. So here it is given you have to find the state 3 in the space 2. So in the space 2 means we have to find with the product of P matrix twice, and then you have to identify the state 3. So that's what it has been multiplied with the matrix. P square is equal to P into P. So P is given here. So we will make with the matrix multiplication as usual. So now we'll go and find it. See, the previous problem I have been given with the 3 states. So I'll be writing like here conditional probability and finding. But here it is given with only one state 3. So defaultly what we'll do it is, we'll assume that this space with the state 3 for all the scenario of your state 1, state 2 and even with your state 3. Got it? See, this is only state 3 is given. We don't know what state I have to evaluate. So in general, we'll be going with respect to the rest of all the states like state 3, state 2, state 1. So that is in general, it is P of x2 is equal to 3 given over x0 is equal to 1. So that is, we'll write this as x2 is equal to 3 comma x0 is equal to 1 plus probability of x2 is equal to 3 comma x0 is equal to 2 plus probability of x2 is equal to 3 comma x0 is equal to 3. So if this is the case, we will write like this. x2 is equal to 3 given x0 is equal to 1 with probability of x0 is equal to 1. So probability of this case will be written as conditional probability of this one with P of x0 is equal to 2. And this will be written like this. So now we know how to write this one. So this one is, what is your state? So the current state here it is 1 and what you have to go for the future is 3. And what is the difference between the space? 2 and 0 is 2. Right? Next, this one, this is with the probability P naught of x is equal to x naught is equal to 1. Plus here the current state is 2 and the future state is 3 and the difference of space is 2 with P of x naught is equal to 2. Plus here the current status and the future state is 3 with the space is 2 and probably the x naught is equal to 3. So we will take the value from the given matrix, P2 matrix, and we will write it. So P13 of 2 is this thing and 2, 3 and 3, 3. We will substitute here. So which we have already done in the previous execution of your P2. So we have to find here P13 of space 2 and P23 of space 2 and P33 of space 2. That means it is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have to execute with P13. So this one, P23, P33. And multiplied with your initial condition. So initial condition is given the question, it is 0.7, 0.2, 0.1. So it is 0.1 multiplied with 0.3 and 0.1. So finally we'll get the answer. So we'll make a product of it and add it. So this will be the corresponding probability of your state 3 in space 2. So space is a suffix we'll say. So state is 3. Okay, coming to the third question. So your third question is, you are supposed to find the state with respect to the four terminology. So right now what we'll do it is the same procedure. We'll start with the x3 is equal to 2 provided x2 is equal to 3 with probability of x2 is equal to 3 comma x1 is equal to 3 comma x0 is equal to 2. So next step, this can be written as P32, the state space difference is 1. So I have to find P32 value in the P1 matrix. Okay, and coming to this one, so we can write this as P of x2 is equal to 3 given, so x1 is equal to 3. So we'll reduce it. Step by step, we'll be reducing it. So this will be written as, this already is P32 of 1 and this one it is 3 of 1 and here this will be written as Px1 of 3 given x0 is equal to 2 provided P of x0 is equal to 2. So this one is P32 of 1, P33 of 1 and this one is P23 of 1 and this one is the initial condition of state 2. So look at it. So finally it is 3, 2 of 1, 3, 3 of 1, 2, 3 of 1 and x0. So from the matrix, P of 1 is the given initial matrix with the initial condition of P of x2 is equal to 2 is 0.2. So this is a procedure to find the probability of the required state follow. Okay. So coming to the another problem with the same scenario, where you will be given with a TPM of the given Markov chain, and initial condition will be given. So next thing is you have to find these three. So this one is as usual, we'll say it like P of x2. What will be the value of this one? So it is probability of current state is 1 and future state is 2, and the state difference is 3 over 2, it is 1. So what will be the value of P12 of 1? So what will be the value of P12 of the matrix P? The TPM matrix is P12 is this one, 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 is the answer. Okay. So look at this. That's right. So coming to the second one, you are supposed to find your state 2 in the second space. Like what we did in the last problem, finding a second space with a state of 3. So similarly, this I can write it as probability of x2 over 3. And here the states are, states are 1, 2, 3. So I can write it as x naught of 1 with probability of x naught is equal to 1 plus probability of x2 is equal to 2 such that x naught is equal to 2, probability of x naught is equal to 2 plus probability of x2 is equal to 2 provided x naught is equal to 3 with probability of x naught equal to 3. So which is equal to probability, this is nothing but your state is 1, 2 and difference is 2. And here with probability of x naught is equal to 1 plus this one, the states are 2, 2 with the space difference. Space difference is calculated by the suffix difference. Okay, so 2 and 0, so difference is 2, and with x naught is equal to 2 plus probability of 3 over 3 with the space 2 of probability of x naught is equal to 3. So from the, as usual, we are given only with the TPM where it is P, so that to calculate your P square, we will multiply the given matrix twice. And from that, we have to find what is the value of 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. And already we are given with an initial distribution. So we will substitute it. So that's what they calculated with the P square matrix. So from this, we have to identify these values. So P1, 2 of 2 and 2, 2 of 2 and 3, 2 of 2. So that is nothing but all these three values multiplied with your corresponding initial distribution. So that will give you the outcome of 11 by 24. Okay. So coming to the third one. So this also the same scenario, very straight. I can write it like P of 1, 2 with a space difference of 1. And coming to next one, this one 2 with a state space of 1. And finally with probability of x naught is equal to. Yes. So from the initial matrix, P of 1 is nothing but the given TPM and x2 is the given initial condition. So substitute it and get it. So similarly, can you say how can I write the probability representation here? So it is P of 2 when with the state difference 1 and next pair like this. Next it is 1, 2, state difference is 1 and next pair like this. And it is P of 2, 1 with the state difference 1. And finally, it is P of x naught is equal to 2. So we'll substitute in the. Yes. So we got the same thing. So this is the step-by-step procedure of doing it. If you are aware, you can write it directly with the state, like clubbing these two and writing the corresponding difference. And next two, writing the corresponding difference as a state. And next two. And finally, this should be with the final initial distribution of x. So take the values from the given TPM and substitute it and you'll get the answer. Okay. So till for the last two problem, we are just finding the execution of the corresponding probability on particular state and space. Now let us go on discuss about the nature of the given Markov chain process. Okay. So most probably we'll discuss about non-null persistent, or else we'll be checking whether it is ergodic or not. To go for an ergodic, what is the condition? What is the condition for to say the given Markov chain is ergodic or not? So the TPM should be non-null persistent and aperiodic. Okay, so we'll let you know while going with the problem. So this is a case. The question is find the nature of the given Markov process, Markov chain with the TPM. So we'll start with powering. Listen guys, once you are asked to find the nature, what we will do it is, we'll try to go for multiplying your given matrix as many as time, so that all the zero elements turns non-zero. Look at here. So here I'm just going with p square, where this element has been turned as non-negative, non-zero. Look at this turned non-zero, and everything is turned non-zero, and you will stop your procedure once you get one of your matrix as again repeated. So here when I'm just going for P3, I'm getting the same matrix as P. So we'll stop here. It's not only condition, we'll stop only to get P. Once you got P square or P cube, you will stop it. For this is a problem where we have only two cases, computing P2 and P3, again you get your P. There are scenarios where you go and compute till P4, P5, and you'll get only then the repeated one among your P2, P3, P4. Okay, so to discuss about the nature, what I have to do is each and every element of your TPM should be greater than 0. Then we'll say the chain is irreducible. Okay, and if the chain is irreducible with a finite number of states, we'll say that the states are non-null persistent, because we have already discussed in the initial, when the states are irreducible and the states are finite, then we will say such a states are all non-null persistent. So look at here, look at the scenario here. So what we'll write it here is P11 in 2 is greater than 0, and P12 where I'm getting 0 of 1 is greater than 0, and P13 in P of 2 is greater than 0. Similarly, I have to check the non-zero or where it is existing. Second row, it is P21 of 1 is greater than 0, and P22 in the second state here. In the second execution, it is greater than 0. And coming to the next, P23 in the first P, it is greater than 0. So similarly, when I'm just going for the third row, it is also 0. So look at here. These are all non-zeros in the first given TPM. That's what is represented with power 1. And if it is greater, the rest are all greater than 0 when you calculate with P square. So look at here. The chain is irreducible. If all the entries in your TPM are greater than 0, then we'll say the chain is irreducible. And there are only 3 states, they are finite, and if the chains are finite irreducible, we'll say all the states are non-null persistent. Okay, and to discuss about the periodic calculation, what we'll take is, we'll just take all the diagonal elements. Look at the diagonal elements of this. So look at here, it is P11 is greater than 0 in P square. When I'm just going with P cube, it is coming 0. If I go with the calculation of P power 4, again it is P square, right? So there you will get non-zero. So that is the case, it was discussed here. P11 is greater than 0 in second choice. And when I'm just going and calculating with the P4, again that will be calculated. So even powers, it will be greater than 0. So your period of this one is GCD of the space 2, 4, 6. What will be the GCD? What will be the GCD of 2, 4, 6, and it's all even numbers? 2. And GCD of this is 2. So the period of state 1 is 2. So to calculate the state 1, we'll take P11. To calculate for the state 2, we'll take it P22. So P22 is greater than 0 in 1. If I'm going with P22 of your odd, it will be greater than 0. And in 5, it will be greater than 0. So the GCD of this one is, look at it. So here it is not 0, it's non-zero. So it is in the power of space 2, it is greater than 0. Again, it is going to be 2, 4, 6. In the same scenario, I'm going to get P22 is greater than 0. So here it is power 2, 4, 6. So the GCD is again going to be 2. Similarly, for the case of state 3, we'll discussing this. Again, the GCD of this one, it's going to be 2. So when the states are with the period 1, we'll say such states are aperiodic. Beyond 1, if it is greater than 1, they are all to the period of particular number. Here, the state 1, 2, 3 are all with a period 2. Okay, so it cannot be a aperiodic state. If the states are aperiodic with non-null persistent, then we'll call such a states in general as ergodic state. But here, failing to be aperiodic, all are with a period 2, so it's periodic. It's not aperiodic. If it is aperiodic along with your non-null persistent, we'll say it's ergodic. Okay, so here all states are periodic, so it cannot be ergodic, because ergodic condition should be aperiodic and non-null persistent. If both are existing, then we'll say it's ergodic. Otherwise, it's not ergodic. See, usually we'll find it at null persistent. But when you're calculating with the GCD, it should be 1. If it is 1 only, it is aperiodic. Otherwise, it's a period with the number what is existing according. Right? So let me have another example here. So look at this. Here they have been narrating a scenario where 3 boys A, B, C, D are throwing a balls to each other, and A throws the balls to B and B always throws to C, but C is just likely to throw to the ball A. They have given you scenario so that you have to frame a TPM. Okay, look at here. From A throws the ball to B. B throws the ball to C, and C equally to throw to B and A. So your TPM. A throws the ball to B, B throws balls to C, and C will throw to the equal probability of A and B. So this is your TPM. Okay, so now the question is you have to find the transition matrix and classify the states, whether it is reducible or irreducible or ergodic. Okay, so to go for checking of irreducibility condition, I have to go and check for the matrix multiplication like P square, P cube, and everything. So again here, look at here. This is the scenario where this is non-zero. This term like P12 is non-zero, and here this is also non-zero. This is also zero. My ultimate aim is whether it is possible to make it as the rest of the elements are non-zeros. So I'm just going with your P2. I am just finding these are non-zero, and this is non-zero, and this. So left out scenarios I have to make. Is it possible to make this one as non-zero? So when I'm just executing a P cube, it is ultimately I'm getting it's non-zero. Okay, so I stop my procedure here. As usual, to check it's irreducible, I have to show all the entries of your first row should be greater than 1 in at least one piece, either in P1 or P square or P cube or P per 4. Okay, so we'll continue. We'll stop it unless you get it. You might find at one scenario, you know, when you're multiplying, keep on multiplying a matrix, you might know this 0 cannot be turned as greater than 0. So you will stop there. Okay, so here the first row is greater than 0, second row is greater than 0, and third row. So all the elements in the TPM are greater than 0. Okay, so that means the given state, the TPM is irreducible. So, and here we have possibly 3 states. So it's a final state. Final state with irreducibility will commonly give you the states that are non-null persistent. So now the thing is I have to check for the periodicity of the state. So state of A, where I find my P of 1, 1. When I'm just going with the entries, P of 1, 1 is this greater than 0, P 1, 1. Because state A I represent with 1, and state B I represent with 2, and state C is represented with 3. So I have to find where for what space I'm just getting greater than 0. So here again for the state of 3, 5, and here also 1, 2, 3. So with the previous matrix, we have to check. So P22 is not zero, non-zero in p square and p cube. Okay, look at here. So 2, 3, 4. So what will be the GCD of this one? It's again 1. Similarly, when you're checking for the third state, it will be 2, 3, 4. So GCD is 1. So all the states are with the period 1. If all the states are with the period 1, then we'll say the states are aperiodic. So aperiodic condition is satisfied and non-null persistence are satisfied. If both the conditions are satisfied, then I can say all the states are ergodic. That's it. Okay. So here we have the properties with a classification. If all states are reachable to from each other, then we'll say it's irreducible. Otherwise, we'll say if all the entries of your T matrix, actually this is your Pij. If all the entries of Pij are greater than 0, then we'll say it's irreducible with respect to your any multiples of your matrix. And we'll say the other classifications are persistent or resistant, and we already discussed this. This is just a summary of it. The discussion of the states are transistent, null, persistent, and the state will be aperiodic if the period is 1, and if it is greater than 1, it is periodic with a period greater than 1, and ergodic is possessing of these two will be the scenario of your ergodic state. Obviously, whenever you're asked to discuss about the nature, most probably you'll try to answer whether it is ergodic or not. That when very first step, you just go and make all the entries of your given matrix non-zero. You'll try to make with the matrix multiplication p1, p square, p cube and everything. And you will stop where you find your all the elements once it turns to be greater than 0 in at least one of your PIs, then we'll stop it. And we'll show like the elements of each elements of your TPM are greater than 0. So they are reachable, so irreducible. Okay. And once it is irreducible, and if the states are finite, we know states with a finite irreducible condition will give you the states are all non-null persistent. And then we'll go and discuss about the periodicity of the states. So if the states are with a periodic period 1, then it is all the states are aperiodic. And if the states are with a period of particular greater than 1, we'll say that is not aperiodic. And clubbing these two conditions like non-null persistent and aperiodic, we'll say the given TPM is ergodic in nature. Okay. So with this, we end. Right?